quick solution to all the misery of Islam is the topic of my day today. Islam is truly the architect of misery in all aspects of spiritual and social life. It is called the perfect religion and expected at least to protect its faithful followers from the pains of hell, but it actually takes them to hell first so that they wait there and test the misery of hell until the day of judgment. Read the Qur'an, Surah Maryam, verses 68 to 72, and see that this is written in the Qur'an. This is just one example of spiritual misery in Islam. And socially speaking, also, the dictatorship and fear of Islam has, also taken away peace and harmony from people in every corner of life. Some Muslim activists who can see the miseries in Islamic countries think that the disloyalty of their leaders to Islam is the cause of all agonies and griefs. They do not know that the root of all these misfortunes is the Quran, the Prophet of Islam, and the Islam itself. I must say frankly that the Muslims who oppose the misery of Islamic countries do not know what the true meaning of a heroic courage is, but call their initiative heroics in various occasions. Their so-called heroic courage is not courage at all when they adhere to Islam. I was one of them, and I know what it is. A courage in Islam is nothing but dictatorship, which keeps people in darkness and enslaves them through terrifying them. For this reason, I love to draw their attention to the true meaning of a genuine courage and say why many who speak of victory do not have a meaningful courage that leads to a meaningful victory. Like Muslim, the followers of many other beliefs also use the word courage in their speeches, but are unaware that, like Islam, their beliefs are also enemy of a genuine courage and victory in one way or the other. Genuine courage refers to an action when a person freely and voluntarily confronts anything, whether spiritual or social, that stands in the way and acts like a barrier to freedom and to a creative, peaceful, and harmonious life. This simple definition proves to us that freedom is the foundation for a genuine courage. We need to exercise our free will and thereby discover the path that brings us the perfect freedom that makes us truly courageous in every way. Courageous for discovering the root of all misery, courageous for facing it assertively until the perfect victory is achieved through the honesty and humility of that freedom. But the Quran, under its dictatorial leadership, has enslaved Muslims and blocked the way for them to be free and able to derive a genuine courage for that freedom for a meaningful life. The leadership style of Jesus Christ is different. It is rooted in humility and meekness in order to liberate people and drive them out from arrogance so that they can extract the genuine courage from their liberty for a meaningful and victorious life. Jesus said in the gospel, "You know that the rulers of the nation exercise dominion over their people, and they who are great exercise authority over their nations. However, it shall not be so among you. Whoever desires to be great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever desires to be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man, he is speaking about himself, did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. It is this humble and productive leadership that paves the way for you to become free and press on for a victorious life. I can give you the West as an example. By the way, there has been times in Western history when leaders turned their back on the humble leadership of Christ and clothed themselves with dictatorship and caused misery. But the West was able to overcome its miseries and become successful in every way whenever it showed openness to the values of Jesus Christ. The leadership of Jesus Christ is truly heroic and productive leadership, which creates a genuine courage for success, but not the leadership model of the Prophet of Islam. This is because the leadership of Jesus Christ liberates people, but the leadership of Muhammad enslaves people. That's why I say that Muslims do not know the true meaning of courage. Courage does not mean that no one has the right to object to the Prophet of Islam or any Imam. Courage is not to deprive or destroy anyone who does not think like the Prophet of Islam. Courage and victory in a dictatorial belief are meaningless. People who use these words while adhering to a dictatorial belief deceive both themselves and their nations. For this reason, I say that the solution to all the miseries of Islam and Islamic countries is in Jesus Christ and in living out his principle in daily life. Without Jesus Christ, it is impossible to untie the knots that Islam has tied in the life of its followers. My first point for the true cure of any kind of misery is the perfect freedom in Jesus Christ. A freedom that takes over your entire being and manifests itself in your relationship to the extent that others will be able to realize its beauty and power in every way. I'm going to leave this here, and I'll talk in depth about the perfect freedom in part 2 of this series of my talks later. But I really want to thank you very much for being me in this a few minutes, and I'll see you later. God bless you.